tracking us.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So, got our links, sharing them in Telegram. All righty. Okay, we're live. We got some people doing well. Hopefully everybody can hear us. You can, yay.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Got the confirmation from John. Yeah, John.
Teamwork. Alrighty, so it has been a incredible, awesome couple days here. Lots of fun, big news and all of that sort of stuff going on. So we're here just to review all of that, answer some questions, get everybody up to speed on everything that's been happening. It's September. I don't know how that happened. It's basically fall now. So there we go.
Yeah. I feel like it came so quick too. We had like one weekend where it was really nice weather. It was a long weekend. And then the Monday was instant fall weather.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It's like we're literally in a simulation now, and it's just Sims, and it's just like fall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, good. We've got spam in the Telegram channel immediately. All right, so we've got quite a few people here. Let's get right into it and get through all the good, fun stuff. And any questions that you guys have, just pop them into the chat, and we'll get to them. Thomas, hello. Nice to have you here.
Thomas.
So first up, obviously the Veronita user migration partnership that we dropped that on Lucky Friday the 13th last week. So Narcissus, you worked really hard on that one, so you can give us some more information about that.
Yeah, it was a work in progress. We're super excited about it. Obviously, everyone knows now because of the announcement from last week. But basically, what it is for those of you that don't know or maybe just aren't familiar, heard about it but not really sure what it is. Basically, what it is Veronita. They were an ad blocking extension. They were kind of on their last legs, and we're looking to essentially move their users over to another platform or another software. And we connected with them, and basically what we're going to do is just shift their users over to Blade, which is great because those users, they'll be moving over from an extension that they used to use to another one that's very similar. And with ours, they'll get rewarded with ad bank tokens and also be able to replace those ads. And we'll have kind of a similar community moving over. So these aren't just completely random users being moved over. They're users in the crypto space that are interested in the same goals that we're trying to achieve with Blade. So it'll be a pretty smooth transition. So that's kind of what that is. What does this mean for Veronita users? For Veronita users, if there's anyone there listening, it'll just mean that you guys are getting a smooth transition over to another extension that you can use that will do the same thing plus a little bit more. And hopefully, you'll kind of enjoy that extra with the replacer on our end. What does it mean for AdBank and for AdBank users? So for AdBank, it means greater adoption, quicker adoption, more users getting over to the platform, which means higher quality of ads or of impressions and the network for our advertisers, which is great. Higher users for AdBank and Blade, which is obviously great. And for our users, no major kind of changes in terms of the extension or anything like that, but great news for you guys because the higher the adoption, the higher the users on Blade, the more advertisers that we're going to get in the long run, the greater and kind of quicker the adoption will be for Blade. So kind of it's really a win-win all around. We're super pumped about it. I hope you guys are pumped about it too. You'll probably be hearing more about it over the next coming months.
Absolutely. And I think we've talked about this in AMAs before, that really with Blade, we're focusing on the user acquisition. And so phase one right here. And it's just keeping both of those, so the advertisers and the users kind of at the same rate. And like Narcissus said, the more users, the more advertisers, which means the more people using the AdBank system, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So the next piece of information that we released last week was the September sign-up bonus. So that is 3,500 ADB for KYC verified users. So if you have not KYC verified your account yet, do that before September 30th. And in early October, in the first week or two, you will see that in your wallet. It won't be in your Blade extension. So just make sure that you're KYC verified and you have your ERC20 wallet in your Blade extension, and just keep an eye out for that. So to actually be eligible for that is really just passing KYC. So like we've talked about before, Canadians and Americans at this time, unfortunately can't pass KYC, but everybody else, you're good to go. And this is for all Blade users. So if you had submitted your KYC like a month ago or something like that, you're still eligible. We're doing all of the work on the back end. You don't have to take any more steps. Just make sure that you're KYC verified, wallet ID is in there, and then keep an eye out early October for that. And then the other awesome thing about that is that we're hoping that that makes it easier for people to go and get their referrals. So this is a great way to maybe seal the deal with some of your community members, some of your friends who have been wondering about getting into this crazy crypto space. They will get that automatic 3,500 ADB just for signing up. So that is really, really exciting. So go forth and get your referrals. Then another piece of exciting news. So last week we had Bitcoin radio interview with Joe Blackburn. You guys might recognize him from Crypto Coin Trader, the big, huge Facebook group. So he has a podcast now, and we were lucky enough to find some time to sit down with him. So John had a chat with him. It was such a great interview. It goes over a lot of these announcements. So the Veronita deal and just how Blade really works in the crypto space, just supporting crypto and that sort of stuff. So definitely check that one out. It is in the Telegram channel, or you can go on our social channels and find the links to all of those. You can get it wherever that you listen to podcasts. That is Bitcoin Radio with Joe Blackburn. And we wouldn't want to run out of steam, so we have one more big announcement. So that one's coming out right now. So Narcissus, take it away.
All right, so one final announcement. We now have both Firefox extensions approved on the add-on store. Hip hip hooray!
Yay!
So
we should have had balloons that we could draw.
Oh, we should have balloons. John, balloons. So what does this mean? So before we, most of you know that I've been with Blade and AdBank for a while now. Oh. John just threw a paper airplane here. How unprofessional.
You use what you have, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what are you gonna do? So for those of you who know, the two extensions for both Google Chrome and Firefox both have you have the blocker and the replacer. The blocker was on the Chrome store and the Firefox store. Now for Firefox, we have both extensions on the add-on store rather than having the one side loaded off of it. So, in terms of, what does this mean? A lot easier access to both extensions for our Firefox users, which is great. Yeah, you won't have to reinstall your extension, your replacer extension, because I know that was a big issue with a bunch of Firefox users of every time they left the Firefox browser and went back on, they would have to reinstall it because it kept failing or an error kept coming up. So no more errors, no side loading for Firefox. Both extensions are there, super easy to use. And kind of what does this mean for us as well? Is again going back to the easier, greater adoption side of things. This will make things way easier for our Firefox users. So expect those numbers to grow.
Yes, so we're pretty excited about that. The good news keeps on coming, so we can't wait to see what's around the corner. We've got a couple questions here. Thank you. Congrats on Firefox. Thank you very much. We are very excited. It's how we like to start the week here. Lots of good news. So first question, I'm an American. Is there an ETA for US user KYC approval? So we've talked about this a little bit before. So for Canadian and American users, it'll just be kind of that economies of scale. So once we have enough users to kind of make it worthwhile, because there's going to be some legal stuff with the SEC regulations and all of that sort of stuff. So you can see that we're well on our way right now to getting to that level of users that it makes sense for us to get into that. So as soon as we can, it's something that we definitely want to do, and we don't have a hard date for it just yet, but it is more closely tied to user growth.
Mhm. And then there's a question about how the banners and advertisements are displayed. Sometimes they're not presented in a clean way. Sometimes you get four on top of each other in different sizes. So that really just depends on the site you're visiting, the way they have their ad placement set up on there. Hard for us to control, but it is something that we're working on. I know Connor's talked about it with the tech team, dev team. Yeah, definitely something we're working on because we do want kind of a nice flow when you are going through sites and seeing Blade ads. I mean, for the most part, the banners do work fine. I know from my experience going on it and from what Connor's told me, most of the time it works fine. Every now and then you do get an ad on top of another ad or one right after the other, but yeah, definitely something we're keeping in mind, and we'll look to fix in the near future, hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah. So SEC, they are tough, but you just got to be careful and make sure that you abide by their rules, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So any more questions, just pop them in there. I know that we went over kind of a lot of information here, lots of good information. I'm super stoked about how everything has been kind of coming together this fall, this September. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
It just, time doesn't stop. But yeah, if there's no more questions, this is a pretty quick AMA. I think everybody's pretty excited about how things are going. So get out there with those referral codes, with that sign up bonus, and let everybody know about it. We're going to be doing the same thing on our end, but the referral, that's for you guys. That's so you guys can earn even more ADB through that referral structure. So get out there and use it. All right. Okay,
that's it.
That's everything.
It's a quick one. Yeah. I know we covered a lot, so if you guys do have questions, toss them in the Telegram chat. Any issues, email us. Blade, email Blade at ringtelsoftware.network if you have any issues. But yeah, that's it. And
we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye guys.